Hello, everybody. It's May 24th. It's Saturday. A special weekend edition. Yeah. Just pretend we're having a evening after lunch coffee with Jimmy. I've been watching some videos talking about the SpaceX development of the Merlin engine and their reusable rocket, which basically gave birth to their new Saturn. Saturn? No. Mars. Where are we? The old Mars plan. Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock.
This doesn't seem to be garnering much interest in the world of the media. Scientists are pretty sure they found a portal to the fifth dimension. Now, why haven't we heard anything more about that? From the Space and Space Travel magazine. Yeah. That Jimmy reads periodically. Scientists are pretty sure they found a portal to the fifth dimension. Well, where is it? Are we experimenting with it? Is it a Area 51 thing where we're not going to talk about it for 60 years? I haven't heard. Let's do a little lookup. Popular Mechanics. That's where. Let's take a look. There we go. Scientists are pretty sure they found a portal to the fifth dimension. To me, this is like, holy crap. The fifth dimension, you have length, width, height. That's 3 dimensions. Time is the 4th dimension. What even is the 5th dimension? I know, I read this article. They go into this dark matter business. And I don't exactly know what that whole dark matter thing has to do with the 5th dimension. Dark matter could be the result I don't know, I read this article and didn't help me much. You know, when someone says, I think we found the fifth dimension, I would, like, where is it? That's where I go with that one. I think this is a artist's rendering of the monolith. Like you walk through the doorway. That's, anyway, time travel. Let's just do Portal to the Fifth Dimension. Let's look that up and see if we get any different results. Search the web. That's AI mode. Search the web. Whatever that means. Oh God. Now we're into theoretical concepts. Yeah, we're not... You see what I see. Theoretical concepts. Unification of forces. Portals to the fifth dimension. Hypothetical gateways. Oh, that's interesting. Dark. See, there you go. We get into the dark matter thing again. No, I'd stay away from dark matter. Portal to the fifth dimension is a compelling idea. Okay. Yeah. I agree. And then there's that story over there. May 21, yeah. And there's, let's go to the Portal to the fifth dimension. Particles known as a fermion. Well, I just scanned that pretty fast, right? Portal to the fifth dimension could have been found. See, that'll get you. That'll get you going places without having to blast off. You just walk through one thing and you end up, a few million light years away from. I think that's where it's at. Yeah, Trump is on the warpath with Harvard, Princeton, Yale, the Ivy Leagues. You better shape up. Yeah, gold is the best safe haven under Trump 2.0. And meanwhile, gold is hovering around $3,000 an ounce, I think. I haven't been to, let's see, American precious metal. Come on, Jimmy. American Precious Metals, EX. There we go. This is a place, like in Oklahoma or something, where you can buy and sell come on, guys. Screw it, we're not logging it. Oh my God, it's up to $3,300 an ounce. Oh crap. I invited everybody that I know. There you go, there's the 1 year. How about that? That's the 1 year curve. And there you go, 5 year curve. It's even steeper. 5 years gold was $1,280 an ounce. Today it's $1,300 an ounce, and now it's $3,300. Went up $2,000 an ounce. It went up, oh God, 162%. How about that for an interest rate? Yeah. And it's a precious metal. How does silver do over that period of time? Not anywhere near as exciting. Platinum, not so. Oh, we have to look at the 5 year period. Oh my God, look at platinum. That's platinum, yeah. Palladium, that's a newer kind of a metal thing. They're pressing silver like crazy, you know, the traders. You know, usually when you see advertising like that, that means someone wants to sell and buy gold. Yeah. Yeah. Spot gold is up. $100 a gram. 30 grams at an ounce. $3,300. There you go. Gold coins. If you buy gold coins, I suggest you buy the Buffalo gold coin. Right here, we'll go to U.S. Mint gold coins. That's what you want. Up here in the top right, you have a picture. There you go. So you're going to pay random year. That's what you want. You're going to pay, you know, a couple $100 over the spot gold price. Let's see what that is as a percent. So let's just say it's 225 divided by 3,300. So you pay a 7% premium, if you will, to get pure gold in the form of a U.S. minted gold coin. Now, the advantage of a U.S. minted gold coin is, you know, you don't have to have it assayed. You know, when you buy bars, I don't suggest you buy bars. Just buy a bunch of gold coins. You know, you can buy bars, but I don't recommend it because, you know, what's in the middle? Is it gold-plated lead? Yeah, we spray painted gold onto a lead bar. Let's see if we have any big bars. See, I mean, why get something like this? This is a 1 ounce bar, if you will. That's the bar. Front, back. This is made by American Precious Metals. Just get the Buffalo. What is it? What do they charge? The same thing. You know, a couple $100 off the spot gold price. You're better off just buying the Buffalo. It's accepted every jewelry shop in the country will take that at the spot gold price. If they try to finagle, then take your gold coin and walk out the door. Because you walk in there with a Buffalo gold coin, you should walk out of there with $3,300. Period. No discussion. I'm going all the way down the list of this stuff, trying to find, bigger, fatter bars. They're all little ones because, see, here's a 10 ounce, some kind of bar. Let's look at this one. 10 ounce, $34,000 for this little booger. There's the front, 99.99% pure gold, 10 ounces. That's the front. That's the back. The little squiggles. It kind of produces, looks like a little kangaroo thingy. Perth. It's Australia. The Australian company. The Perth Mint. Ten troy ounces. Minimum gold. The bar number 3 from the Perth Mint. Whoever they are. Let's see what this says. This is in the tamper-proof case. So it's encased. Tamper-proof? Well, how do you get in it? Anyway. There's 1 ounce in the Perth Mint. Let's look at this. The Perth Mint, 1 ounce. So that's about $50 cheaper than the gold coin. I don't recommend it, but what do I know? There's product details. It talks about the Perth Mint. I'm here just to learn about the Perth Mint. Guaranteed by the Perth Mint. Who the hell are they? Product specifications. 5 millimeters thick. And whatever dimension that is, gives you 1 ounce of pure gold. Let's click on here for the Perth Mint. Oh, this just takes you to other things that the Perth Mint has minted. I was just wondering if this has any connection with the Australian government, or is it just a private company in Australia? There's a lot of, silver stuff. Pretty nice etchings, how's that look? $1. Let's see. This is silver. I don't recommend silver. We're just looking. Anyway. A American Precious Metals. That's AMPEX Exchange. If you have any interest in buying gold or silver, precious metals as part of your investment, I suggest you register. I'm already registered. They're telling me that because of, security concerns and everything, they want you to have a more exotic password than I have on register with them. So they're telling me to go, like lost your password or forgot your password. Soon you can reset your password. So they want me to reset the password, which is annoying because then you create another password that you might forget. But I've bought silver, I've bought gold, I've sold silver, I've sold gold using APMEX. It is painless. Here's a silver coin I kept, which you can see right there I'm holding. Whoops, excuse me. We have to put you back in the screen. There we go. There we go. You see the little silver reflections. This is the year 1900. So this little coin is amazing, 125 years old. I think I probably had that silver coin for 60 years. When that was, when that silver was worth this is I think a dollar coin, right? Yeah, silver dollar. Yeah. You go to the bank and you got them for $1. Today they're worth $35. Round numbers. Rather have a gold coin worth $3,300. The spot gold price. Ooh, up $60 an ounce from yesterday. Ooh. Yeah, people are buying on, and there are more buyers than sellers. The price goes up. Limited time Apple Card offers users $150 back, but you got to spend some money to get that. And you get the fancy schmancy Apple Card, Apple MasterCard. They're trying to get, Apple's trying to increase their, there's money in the money business. There's money to make in the money business. I think that's what they're trying to tell us. A special sign-up bonus. Gotta do it by June 15th. Apple at work. AI feeds. The AI feed is a solid example of workplace done right. This is 9 to 5 Mac. See that up in the... Oh, you probably can't see it. Yeah. Well, you can see up in the top here, next to New York Post, you see that little, what do you call it, icon that looks like a clock. It has 9 o'clock on the clock face. It's kind of like light blue. I'm going to touch on that. Apple 9 to 5 Mac. You see it right there on the top. There we go, yeah. So all the stories are little headline thingies here on the left side. Apple TV, so now Samsung, you want to see what's going on with the Samsung phone? Touch that. I'm on an iPad. And there you go, you got all the stuff that's going on with the Google phone. Recommendation, stick with iPhone. Don't get distracted. Apple stock slightly down as Trump keeps beating on Apple about make your phones in America or we're going to charge you 25% tariff. Keep making them in China. China, as he says. The company has recently shifted production to India, Vietnam, and Brazil. It's trying to dodge the... Actually, Apple started doing this a few years ago just to distribute their risk around the world in case China goes to war with whomever, including us maybe. So, and if that stopped their ability to export their stuff that's made in China, they have it also being made in Vietnam, Brazil, and India. So maybe one of those other outlets, where more devices could be delivered from. That's why they're doing it. I mean, they were doing that long before Trump came up with any tariff rumblings. But, he's just trying to equalize Trump is out for America. And we don't want to keep increasing. His theory is we want to make stuff in the United States. We don't want to keep financing China to make our stuff. We want to make our stuff. So make it here. We'll give you special tax breaks. And, what's not to like? That's what's going on. Let's see, what is this? Current iPhone trade-in values. Yeah, not good. Whatever you paid for it, divide by 2. And that's if it's in perfect condition. If there's a scratch on it, forget it. Then you start going, it's $200 a scratch. iPhone 15 Pro Max. We're working on the 16. So this is last year's model. Look into this here. Last year's model. And of course, this year's model is going to be pretty much talked about at length in the WWDC, which is coming up in the first week of June, or the first part of June, if not the first week. I think we know. Okay. WWDC space 2025. There we go. Apple announces WWDC June 9th. There you go. 9th through the 13th. And now I think this will become more colored as we get into June. That is pretty white. And my guess is that every day as we get closer to the June 9th, the amount of color that's associated with this branding for the WWDC, what does that stand for? Worldwide Developers Conference. Yeah, WWDC, Worldwide Developers Conference. It's held every year in the first half of June, put it that way to be safe. And they talk about, it's primarily talking about the operating system that drives the Apple products. In this case, iOS 19, iPad OS 19, the Mac OS 16, the Watch OS 12, the TV OS 19, and the Vision OS 3. Those are the binoculars, which didn't really go anywhere last year when they came out with those goggles. Yeah. Who the hell's going to walk around? I guess the gamers, they walk around with goggles. The goggles are quite, I don't know about these Apple goggles, but the goggles that you can buy, which I owned a pair, $500 goggle, that you can sync to a drone. Now, when that happens, now you're looking into these goggles that are high-definition TV monitors in miniature, essentially, and you have some optics so that you look into those, into a focusing arrangement. And it's like being in the cockpit in this little tiny drone, and you're sitting in the cockpit, but you're not little tiny, you're on the couch. But because you have these goggles on, the TV cameras, the forward cameras, for example, in the drone are fed directly into the goggles. And that gives you the illusion that you are in the cockpit of the drone, or sitting on the front of the nose cone of the drone as you're flying through the air, at whatever speed or paging device that you're using with your fingers or whatever, to have that drone go forward, the controllers, and you're going to make a bank turn and come around here to the north and then turn east and in order to land back where you took off from. And you're with those goggles on, I swear it is like you're sitting on the top of that plane while it's flying around. And it's a magical moment. But is it worth, unless you got some the medical community has taken on to the goggle type approach, and they're performing robotic surgeries, because with the robotic surgeries they have these little cameras that are inserted in your abdomen, while these forceps and things are inside your abdomen. So instead of slicing you open like a watermelon and then fixing whatever organ needs to be fixed, they just poke a couple of holes in you on each side. And one side is tools, and on the other side is, if there is an other side, it could be, supplies, things that are consistent with whatever kind of surgery is going on inside you, And the doctors are using the goggles for those magnanimous software packages that are available, just for the looking. But all that kind of R&D and things have the operating system is so powerful in these devices, because these devices are very sophisticated. The devices I'm talking about, these iPhones. This is an extremely sophisticated. All right, what's going on with Brennan? He went into the hospital. Oh, look at this. He's got a little. Marilyn's on the way to a nail appointment. On to a low residue diet, but definitely needed something in my stomach. Hungry as crazy. I'm reading a text message from Brennan. He's in the hospital for his seeming attack of diverticulitis. He said the second such attack in the last 2 months. Everything's okay at work. All right. So Marilyn will have to figure out what's going on with Brennan. He gets released from the hospital today. I couldn't tell from that text message whether he's eating low residue meals, which means your body pretty much absorbs all of it, so you don't have large peristaltic movements. Nice way of saying that. You have small poopies when you go to the bathroom. You don't want to stretch it out when you're having diverticulitis. Oh, here we go. I'll be darned. See, now here it is. With it more. No, I guess the same. It seems to me it's going to be more colored in than this, All right, what's this? This is Macworld. These are the 7 things I can't wait to see. Oh my gosh. What are they? The iPhone AI feature actually in use. They have all kinds of demonstrations. Worldwide Developer Conference. This is a big annual. You have a multi-trillion-dollar company that's putting on, a gathering where the finest app developers, I guess, in the world get invited to the. I mean, everybody can go virtually, and but some, 1,000 or so show up into that big circular worldwide headquarters in California. So they're going to be talking about the iPhone AI features. Watch it actually in use, being demonstrated by, these smarty pants kids, 30-year-olds, Apple employees. And then the pundits predict things, and the Apple engineers will then interface with a lot of these writers, people that write articles about what's going on in the world of technology with the Apple Watch and phone. Those are the big three. Babelfish becomes a reality. The industry has long been fascinated by the Babelfish, a fictional created which is basically something where someone looks at you and talk to you in Spanish, and in your earbuds comes out English. Or you can translate it into live, live translation. Immediate. It goes right into your ear, so you know exactly what they're saying. And then I don't know how, not too sure how you answer back. I guess how does it know what, yeah, that's where that stops. I mean, it can tell you, and it can come out with, maybe it comes out with, you speak English, and then it translates it back into Spanish, and that's what comes out of the speaker phone part of your phone. It's got to be how that works. Also divulged in the WWDC would be Mac OS 16. And what does that mean? When you have the operating system working, 16. We are, let's see, I can, you're not going to be able to see this. About this Mac. Let's see, there's a 15-inch M3 version 2024 MacBook Pro Air version of the MacBook Pro. Apple M3, 24 gigabytes of unified memory, I think they call it, which means it's all unified with the chip, with that M3 chip. And the serial number Sequoia 15.5. Yep. That's the version. So. And then you have the Apple Vision. This is what you see when you wear the goggles, which, hand gestures, you can click onto these things. To me, that's a little hokey dokey. That's why they're not selling any of those things. Okay, well, they're probably going to, from prior experience, they often have, tidbits of news that comes out about the new versions of the software for the MacBook Pro, the rumors, the rumor mill about the iPhone 17, the hardware. So we can look that up. Let's look. All right. iPhone 17 rumors. Touch that one. Yeah. Show more. Here's Macworld. Let's see. There we go. Everything we know so far. This is a good article. A good readership. There you go. Some of the graphics that are associated with this. Everything we know so far with 2025 iPhones. Different colors. You got the Pro and the Pro Max. The difference of about a half-inch diagonal measure. 16.9 inches is the maximum diagonal measure. And the 17 Pro, as opposed to Pro Max, would be 16.3. 6.3 inches and 6.9 inches diagonal measure for the two phones. I think I might have had the wrong order of magnitude there. Here's a little guess on when the phone will come out. Well, with the 15, it was announced on the 12th of 14 was on September 7. 13 was September 14.
It's 1:45.
It's 1:45. So the question is, when will the iPhone become available? In the first week or so in September. According to this little graphic below, or this little list of things, September 9/9 seems to be the logical date. And then 9/12, let's see, what does this say? Historically, the iPhone began selling on the Friday after the announcement and then ship a week later. Then, of course, the big thing is they got to make some kind of deal with Trump so that they don't end up with a 25% tax. And it goes in, a $1,600 phone becomes $2,000. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. It'll work it out. They're just bickering with each other, trying to negotiate the best trade deal between countries. There's no attack on Apple. The cameras. That's the big deal with the iPhone 17. The third camera, the one that's associated with the 5x optical zoom. That optical zoom is going to have a 48 megapixel camera behind it. So based on the number of pixels we've been dealing with, you could go up to 7x, or before the digital zoom would kick in. Notice the island that goes across the body. It extends all the way across, which I like. Processor. It's 19 instead of 17. That's a name. It doesn't tell us anything. A18, A19. You can call it A123. Who cares? What is... this tells you something. You're going to have 12 gigabytes, 12 gigabytes of random access memory, up from like 8. So you're going to get a 50% increase on the number of gigabytes for core memory. These applications are getting more and more complicated. Right. Looking for anything else. Wi-Fi, better, faster Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi 7 support, whatever that means. I guess 7 is better than 6, huh? Let's push that button. See what that says. How the next wireless breakthrough will power up your Apple device. It's all about that connectivity. So, 802.11be, the IEEE, that's the Electrical Engineers Association, International Association of Electrical Engineers. They come up with these standards on how these devices are to communicate with each other, what frequency spectrum they'll use, other parameters about, how that transceiving will work with all the bits and bytes that comes out of your handheld device. More speed, lower latency. In other words, no delay. Speed is up to 5.8 gigabits per second. That's 60% faster than the chipsets that are available in the current Apple model. So, you get a 60% boost in upload and download speeds. That's a significant factor. Yeah, when you're uploading and downloading picture files and so forth, well, that Wi-Fi connectivity is important. Smarter uses of the frequencies. All right. Because there's so many people. Here's Wi-Fi 7 and how it works. And you can see Wi-Fi 6E. Let's see if we can, yeah, we're going to save this baby. I'll study that carefully and give you a rundown on what the advantages of Wi-Fi 7 is, other than more is better. Yeah, we want to be a little more, I want to give you a little more information than more is better. It's 40 megahertz, 88 megahertz, 160 megahertz, 320 megahertz. I got a number of channels in each bandwidth. The frequency spectrum itself. All right, I'll have this figured out by tomorrow. When are the routers coming? And will there be onboard routers inside your device? More graphic stuff. All right, let's do a little print screen on this too. Looks like there's a lot going on with the technology associated with these devices this year. This whole Bluetooth thing. And let's see, Wi-Fi 7 and the Qualcomm chip. It looks like there's going to be Qualcomm chips in the iPhones. That's new. That's a new development. That's a serious development. Anyway, so you see, when is it coming? And Wi-Fi 7, it's this year, baby. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Anyway, so how did we get here? We got here because of the 9 to 5 Mac program, which tells you all about all the different devices and when they're coming. I'm speed reading some of this stuff for your Apple absolutely cannot miss its smart glasses thingy. Because the Ray-Ban Metas are already out, and they're out in multiple generations of them now. This is like the second or third generation. See Ray-Ban over here, Right there, Ray-Ban. Yeah, that is the talk of the town. Right there. These Ray-Bans. And you can see things inside the lenses about, when you get a text message or something, it scrolls down through your vision, and then in the corner of the Ray-Ban, you see there's a camera. There's a little dip. That's a camera. It's got earphones and the and the things that go on each side of your head with the sunglasses, so you can hear things. You can hear the radio. You can hear whatever the heck you want to hear. It comes right through your Ray-Bans. So that Meta Ray-Ban joint venture. So the article is, hey, Apple, you better not let them have the market all by themselves, because they're doing it. Yeah. I'm just going through all the stories. Apple TV. Here's a little hang-on device. This is like an Apple Watch hanging from your neck. This is so, honey, I've fallen over and I can't get up. So, but see, that's all ready to go. I mean, it's all part of your Apple Watch right now. You fall down, your watch reacts. You look at your watch if you're capable of it. And if you don't do anything, it all of a sudden starts calling all your people, your important family people. When you create a list, I have a list of 4 people. Call them in this order. Maryland's first, and you go down the list. Locals, and then the people out of state. Well, I slipped onto my fanny and ended up on the floor in the bedroom. And I was wearing my socks or something or other, and slipped on the floor. And my watch went off. And Marilyn got a phone call from the Apple Watch app. And it said, if you don't do something, we're dispatching. Matter of fact, they already started dispatching the emergency, the ambulance to come sliding you off the spatula, use a big spatula and pick me up off the floor. Anyway, Marilyn had to call him off. Said, no, you don't need to come. It's false alarm, sorry. Yeah. But see, that's what I think this is all about, yeah. John Ives' new product. Well, what is it? It better be more than what I just said, because we got an Apple Watch on there, buddy. And there's a Apple case, an iWatch case, where you can take off the band and just hang it around your neck like that. So I'm not too sure what John Ive has got up his sleeve. It looks like it has some width to it from the shadowing, from the shadow detail. It's got a little camera on the front and a little thing where it can that's either a speaker or a microphone. Anyway, so John Ive has started a former Apple senior guy who retired several years ago, and now he's come up with a new product that he wants to either have Apple put through Apple's what do you call it? Their delivery system. Because Apple's already got a huge supply line and delivery system. And why would John Ive want to try to duplicate any of that? So if I were him, I'd pony up with Apple, to release a John Ive product. Instead of John Ive's company to try to, create a delivery system that's running alongside of Apple. You might as well just get right in there with Apple. You already got an Apple operating system that knows how to deal with the cameras and the audio chips and the listening chips and the microphone chips and the speaker chips and the battery. It knows how to make the battery for the Apple Watch. Certainly that's about the same shape as that thing. And he's mimicking the shape of the Apple Watch. I mean, that is the, if you look at, if you look at that and you hold up your Apple Watch and you can see it has the same basic shape without the watch face part. Well, maybe if you flip it over, it's got a screen on the back. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it has sensors on the back that can notice your breathing or something. I don't know. So he's got something up his sleeve or around your neck. Ming Chi, however, is Ming Chi. Apple leaker, Ming Chi, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we're not going to comment. No, we're not going to comment. All right, so that's all the news fit to print on this. Been yakking around here for about an hour and 10 minutes. That's about enough for today. What do you think? Yep, looks like Marilyn's on a little selfie on the, this is a couple years ago. There's the car. It is resting. Oh, she's, where is she going? Oh yeah, that's here. I was wondering what, it looked like it had a different address. Nice thing about the car, you can always see where it is. This is the Tesla application. And you can see it's got 7,963 miles. We took it and drove to, what do you call it? Flakowitz for a little 10 a.m. breakfast. And now the car is comfortably parked in the structured parking garage in the Rope-On Place. And that little blue dot is where I am right now, inside the building. 8 stories above Chops Lobster Bar. We downloaded the recent software, so which is version 12, 25.14.6. Now, version 13, they say, is, and they're like 4,000 or 5,000 people that are Tesla employees and so forth, and significant investors that have special privileges of getting software in advance of, lowly people like ourselves. People that just bought or have the cars or leased the cars, whatever. But that nucleus of that 5 or 10,000 people that choose to use the newest version of the software on limited release, they say version 13.2.6, 13.2.6, if I remember. This is version 12, you see, version 12. Software V12. The version 13, they say, is one incredible step advanced in the software. And the question is, what software version will actually be the current software version when we get to the middle of June, when the Robotaxi is released with its software package? Yeah, that could be. Ooh. Because they say you just get in that thing and tell it where you want to go and it takes you there. And that's the future. That's the future of transport for people getting around the neighborhood. It's kind of like the elevator. There was a time where they had elevator conductors that, you'd walk into the elevator and there'd be a man either standing or sitting on a stool next to the controls, and he would open the gate, he'd close the gate, he'd make sure you're inside the gate before he closed the gate. And they said, ma'am, what floor would you like to go to? I'd like to go to floor 7. So, he'd push button number 7, just like you see now, in a sense. And, ma'am, what floor would you like to go to? We'd like to go to floor number 4. So you got 2 for number 4 and 1 for number 7. So he would work the controls and pull back on this electric thing, to get the machines running just a little faster. So, until version 13 is unbelievable. So will it be a version 14 or a version 15 when Robotaxi comes out? We'll have to wait and see. You only got a month to go. Yeah. I'm sure the Tesla people are sweating bullets to make sure that sucker. Because if they're late on that, oh my God. The media is going to be jumping all over Tesla if they're late. Elon is always late with his time predictions of his own company stuff. So hopefully he'll be on time. Here's a little story. Place your bet on how many bugs they find in this Qatari plane. Bugs listening in on the rooms and the conference rooms in these airplanes. Sweep all that stuff and get rid of any technology that's not designed by Boeing. So, the this crash in San Diego. I would say the lights weren't on the runways. I couldn't see where the runways were. It was all foggy. Well, and you can't see where you're landing. I mean, that's called visual flight regulations. You gotta see what you and you keep your ass in the air, because you don't want to land on top of the roof of a house, because then you go boom. And you got all this fuel and stuff. So try to keep it on the runways. You can't get on the runway, and you have to get for a highway. All right, sports fans, you all have a great day. Indianapolis 500, the speedway is revving up. Okay, meantime, you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Maryland's got her little flags. Yeah. Do I have anything? No, I got my flag on here, on the front of my soundboard. I've got a flag. You see the flag right there? You can see the stars. Oops, I can't turn it any more than that. There we go. Let's get that back where it belongs. You can see the time. It's 2:14 p.m. You all have a great afternoon.